everybody, this is Måneskin. You're listening to Children. Listen clear now.
In 2017, a band shook the stage of one of the biggest song contests in the world. A young rock band appeared on Italian X Factor, introducing themselves as Måneskin, a name that one of the members came up with on the fly on the way to their first local talent show. The band continued their journey through the show with out their outfits and extraordinary performances until they placed second, losing against Lorenzo Lisitra. But that doesn't stop them from getting themselves a record deal with Sony and immediately topping the charts in Italy, getting themselves their first #1 hit with Chosen, later on going double platinum with the EP under the same name, with their projects continuing to top the charts in Italy, making them a staple in the Italian rock scene. My name is Skull, I do not have an intro, and today I want to take a look at the band Måneskin and their apparent split that happened sometime last year. I also want to take a little look at the band's history, giving you some thoughts that I have on the situation that Måneskin is finding themselves in. But first, I love doing the videos for you guys, but I would love making them even more if you guys subscribed, liked, and shared my content. Just give me a little confirmation that you actually like what I'm doing and didn't just misclicked and found yourself here on accident. Just a little comment so I know that you guys are doing fine. Well, I know that you guys are doing fine because I'm on your walls.
Now we have some serious rock and roll energy in the house because we have Italy and Finland. How are you feeling about being here in EUROVISION in Rotterdam? Are you excited?
Yeah, can't wait to get on stage for real and play.
In their own country, Damiano and band decided to once again take a part in the contest. After spending time in London working on their new style, they released Vent'anni as their first single for the upcoming album Dietro Dira Volume 1, which should release after the Sanremo Music Festival in 2021, which is the festival that you need to win to represent Italy at ESC, making them a controversial pick as Italy never sends rock bands to ESC. Songs like that really aren't standard, but the band's win really made rock music once again rise in the competition. After doing a little fit check, they passed with excellence. Their presence, in my opinion, was more or less a giant factor of why people chose to vote for them, being very out there without really overdoing it. I mean, just look at them. If that doesn't speak to a contest mainly watched by queer people, I don't know what does. They also hit the nerve of the one homophobic dad watching the contest by playing his jam. This band really was a trap for us to fall into. With it, they won the contest. What followed is something that not only changed the band, but also ESC in my opinion. The song, as well as the ESC performance, went viral on TikTok, opening a new gate for later contestants. I mean, Jost Klein made an entire Road to ESC series on TikTok off of his previously viral song Riesenjunge with Chiagu, which samples a German comedian Otto Walkes parodying a song Englishman in New York, which is I think also a parody. TikTok since Måneskin has been home to numerous viral clips of artists participating in ESC, making it a staple for promoting yourself. It's almost better than making your government illegally purchased YouTube ads. TikTok, in my opinion, really changed the Eurovision experience, making us connect and push artists that back in the day would have just fallen into obscurity. But I think Eurovision also does a better job letting artists return on stage.
In your mother language, you recognize what's cringe and what's not. In your second language, you're like, oh, it's my second language, who gives a fuck? So,
I'm free to be cringe.
That's it.
After the ESC win, the band was lifted to world fame. Their music went viral, as I already mentioned, on TikTok and played to death on social media and radio. Everyone knew who these guys were. Not only that, but there was this tension or glimpse of hope for the band to be the next big thing for rock music, a comeback of a genre that was dying. Finally, a fresh face that should fill out arenas with a genre dominated by skeletons. They were looked upon as some kind of messiah. Sadly though, in the eyes of many, they flew too close to the sun, which in my opinion is bullshit, because their album was exactly what I expected them to make. They didn't fly too close to the sun, you guys just threw them there. I mean, it has some stinkers like Blah Blah Blah. On the other hand, songs like Gossip, The Loneliest, or La Fine are great, some of the best songs that they have made to this day. I would even say that this is a very strong release from them. This band delivered in giving us a rock album in their signature style. It is similar enough to their old things that we are used to, but still different enough that it comes off fresh and exciting. Even looking back at it, I myself remember finding this project kind of mid because of the expectations that people had, but now coming back to it without this big push, it's actually pretty fine. Everyone is saying that Damiano killed rock, but I feel like you guys did. People just do not care too much for an album sounding like Rush. A lot of people love the idea of Måneskin more than they like the actual music of Måneskin. They love them being themselves, doing this wedding, the outfit, the performances. Another thing I saw people hating on were the switch to English, which didn't change the topics of the songs or quality of the lyrics. The difference is that now people understood what Damiano was saying to us.
What happened to rock and roll never dies?
I think there's a lot of rock artists around, even if I don't do it anymore, so rock and roll is safe.
Most recently, the band went on a hiatus, which I don't blame them for. I mean, the last album they released was torn apart by critics and fans alike.
And pretty much every shade of rock music they are capturing on this record is portrayed and explored in such a surface level way, not in a way that certainly feels like distinct or unique. Kind of feeling a strong two on this album.
But hey, who cares? Let's talk about Damiano's solo project. I don't like it. You might have already seen it on my Album of the Year account. If you follow me there, you should, if you want to know my opinions on new releases. The album is a compilation of love/heartbreak songs, focusing mainly on his previous relationship, as well as his current relationship, with his current partner even making an appearance on one of the songs. Now the album sees Damiano make songs that progressively become more and more radio pop. It feels like every song is a different early 2010s song that charted in Europe. He also doesn't seem comfortable performing alone without his band, something he already mentioned in one interview. Another thing people also pointed out is that his style and clothes have changed into a more conservative, bland way. I would argue though that he has already been dressing more conservative during Rush era, and I very much prefer this over the Benson Boone onesie. His outspokenness and media presence is also a little lackluster, with him trying to be as little controversial as possible, going hand in hand with his fashion style. One example would be this comment he gave about Israel participating in ESC.
I don't know, I don't have a strong opinion about it. I think that music and culture are, of course, affected by what happens in the world, so it would be crazy to think that like nothing should change or there should be no conversation about it. But at the same time, I don't know, it really depends on like the person itself. Like if the artist is very involved, it's one context. If the artist is literally just a guy born, or a guy or a girl, or like just born in Israel and wants to sing at Eurovision, I don't see why they should be denied. Like it's a very complex conversation that in order to give a real answer, we should know everybody involved and what they think, and it's a little too much to ask for.
He really tried to not offend either side of the debate, taking a very neutral approach. This really neutral stand and try not to offend too much just, in my opinion, also shows the lack of rock and roll in him. But rock isn't really where this all is heading, as he isn't the only one who is going solo. Previously we saw someone else go solo with Victoria and her DJing gigs. In interviews she also talked about wanting to go into a different direction, to explore doing more than just bass for a rock band, being excited to start creating and arranging her own tracks, which she has been doing for the past year or so, just not as public as Damiano.
And when you say indefinite hiatus, that doesn't mean the band is disbanding. It means one day there will be another album.
Yeah, now we're focusing on our own thing, and I think it's the healthiest thing we can do, and then in the future we can decide to do things only moved by our feelings. And we really want to do an album. Like, that's the cool thing about it.
To finish this off, the band has been, in my opinion, going through a lot since ESC. This is not only my opinion, but this is also coming from Damiano himself. With all the attention and bad press, I get that you want to focus on different things than the band Måneskin, finding themselves in a place where they need space. Like a lot of bands, they just split up for a while trying to do their own thing, and eventually probably they find themselves back together and record another album. I mean, it's cool to work and do a lot of things with your friends, but at some point you just need a bit of space, just a little time off, so you can now team up and avoid the next person for a day or so.